Hey guys, Way of Life Esports here, coming at you guys with the first League of Legends podcast that I've been talking about for a while now. It's going to be called League It To Me. I'm joined here by my new co-host. Is that what I'll call you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
Or main cast member? No.
I don't know. Just
Okay.
anything.
Anything. Hedgie is here today. We're going to be talking about the NALCS quarterfinal matchups, Clutch versus TSM and CLG versus Optic. But before that, we're going to be talking about the meta. They're going to be playing on 9.15, right?
Yeah, 9.15.
Okay.
I believe.
And we have top, jungle, mid, ADC, and support kind of picks to go over. Nothing really is going to impact the meta, I think. But what do you think, starting with top lane?
Yeah, so I think it was 9.13? They did make a separate change, trying to make AD top laners and range top laners, trying to nerf them. But what they've gone and done is actually buff them instead, which doesn't make much sense, considering they're trying to nerf them. So right now, top lane is filled with Kennons, Nikos, and now Aatrox, which again is actually funny. They tried to nerf him again by taking away his ultimate revive, but they've added to his heal, so it's actually kind of a buff for Aatrox. So now he is actually very, very strong top laner, and you've seen last week in the NLCS and a lot of other regions, he's being first picked. So yeah, definitely a very strong top laner right now, Aatrox. And then because Aatrox is the main top laner that's coming in, you've seen champions like Kled coming in, and then to counter that, because of all the melee, strong melee champions like Kled and Aatrox, and you've got Kennons, Nikos, seen a bit of Jace as well. And there's been a few Tristana tops, which I really don't like, but I guess they're still doing it.
See, I actually kind of forgot. Why is Kennen now building AD in the top lane again? Because wasn't that nerfed a while ago?
Yeah, I think it's because of the damage stats he got buffed from that patch when they buffed range top laners. I think that's kind of pushed him back to go AD, and I think it just suits a lot of the matchups more.
See,
as
I
well.
always liked him AP because I feel like if you fall behind on the AD Kennen build, you just are irrelevant.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so him being able to build AD is a good thing for him as well, because he can also go the AP build in some situations when you're looking to team fight more. So having the options to go AD or AP is pretty helpful for him. So yeah, I honestly have always preferred the AP build myself, but yeah, just because of those changes and stuff, he has become a bit more lenient towards the AD build.
The last one you said was Jace. See, with people like, or champions, sorry, with Aatrox and Nikos in the meta, if it's going to be on 9.15, Jace has kind of just fallen off and not been really relevant. And in playoffs, like, picking Jace kind of means that if you don't win by a certain point or have a massive
100%.
CS advantage, then you're just going to lose the game. I would say for any of the playoff North American games between the quarterfinals all the way to the finals, guys, please don't pick Jace. Just forget he exists as a champion. I would say that. Because,
Yeah,
could you imagine Dokla playing Jace?
Yeah, 100%. I just hate Jace. Like, I always see him and I'm like, why are you picking him? Like, just no matter what. So yeah, he's a really awkward champion, really, really high skill cap. So there's not many players that can really pilot him well, particularly in the NLCS. So yeah, I don't really like seeing him a lot, and yeah, I'm happy he's kind of just gone away because don't like the pick.
I just don't think he'll function in a meta of Nico, Aatrox, Kennen. Like, imagine being a Jace and falling behind against an Aatrox where Riot supposedly
100%.
nerfed. Yeah, Riot always, like, I've been in all these matchups and I've been the Jace behind an Aatrox, and it is not pretty.
It's horrible.
Moving on to the jungle, more tanks in the jungle. Sejuani is going to be a primary pick. Rek'Sai, J4, Lee Sin. See, Lee Sin is in the same boat I had with Jace. It's more like we saw Contracts play Lee Sin. in his tiebreaker game, which I was like, I saw Contracts lock that in, dude, and I was like, yeah, you seriously just gave up Golden Guardians a chance to go into playoffs.
Yeah, Lee's another of those like win at 20-minute champs that I really just don't like. I think he's a bit better than Jace, because if you can completely like pilot him well, where you can get the kick, the flash kick and all that sort of stuff. Is it kick flash? Yeah, kick flash.
Yes.
All that sort of stuff, right? Then he can have like good, presence in the early game and that sort of stuff. But because Jace doesn't really have any fallbacks at all, but at least Lee has that. But he's still like really, really dangerous to pick, because you really have to get ahead early. You need to pick lane matchups that you're going to be able to gank and get ahead early, and kind of just doesn't bode well if you're getting into any kind of late game situation.
I think Rek'Sai, last time I saw her was in the first part of the summer split. We last saw her all around the world during the spring split. She was a really highly prevalent pick during the spring playoffs for all the major regions, but in North America specifically, she had something, I think, of like an 80 or 90% win rate. She was insanely strong. Now, seeing how Rek'Sai randomly gets these buffs during playoffs, Rek'Sai's always kind of been one of those playoff champions, right? Just seems to buff randomly. I've noticed that ever since she became a champion.
Yeah. She did get a few nerfs during, I think it was, I can't remember now. I think it was like 9.9 or around there. But I did see her played by C9 and used very effectively on the weekend, so I think she could be picked. I think she'd be very, very like small amount of situations she could be picked. Now, stars would have to align.
Now J4, I would say J4 is the most normal pick for all the NA junglers. Just pick J4, first really pick, good. Win the game. What is the thing? See, J4 excels at just being basic. Sometimes you don't have to be fancy. Just be basic and win. Like that's what I was pick. Whenever I say J4, you don't gotta be all flashy and mechanical plays. Just pick J4, be basic. Don't be picking no Lee Sin and trying to flash kick people and then failing, and then game's just over in 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just love the consistency with his ult. Like, you're gonna lock in an AD carry. You're gonna be able to win a lot of team fights by doing that, and flexibility with builds also really important, because he can go AD, he can go tank. You
can do that whole. There's a lot of different things, right? Is that
100%
thing? Okay.
I'm not sure actually, but again, it's another option. So, yeah, he's very flexible. He's great in late game, but he's also great in the early game. So, yeah, he's just a really good champion overall, and I think he really suits the meta currently.
And going on to mid lane, we're gonna have Corki, Azir, LeBlanc, Cassio somewhere in there. Now, I believe here, I feel like if I'm like Bjergsen is either gonna probably pick Cassio or LeBlanc at a certain point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's the carry player on TSM. We'll talk about that a bit later with TSM, but yeah, he's a really, really good player, obviously. I'd say, is he still the best mid laner? Oh, that's another conversation. That's a really, really interesting conversation to have, actually.
You're about to go down the wrong hole right there.
Yeah. But yeah, picking carry champions like LeBlanc, Cassio, Corki and Azir are pretty good for him as well. But yeah, I think that is really important. A lot of really, really high carry profile champions in mid lane right now, and having Bjergsen on your team for TSM, that is a really helpful asset, an amazing mid laner to have. So yeah, seeing him maybe pick up a LeBlanc.
This is weird, because we saw Power Vivo actually play LeBlanc this last week, right?
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Yeah, I remember he played it. He played it in these past two recent weeks before playoffs. He actually did really well in the pick. The thing is that LeBlanc needs the right team comp around her to do well. It's like even in professional games or even like solo queue games, I'll see LeBlancs go like 10-2, 18 assists. The whole team's like losing. They're at your inhib turrets, and like I feel like LeBlanc is the champion. If you're gonna play her at their level, she has to have that early game comp with her, and she herself has to get ahead too.
Yeah, 100%. I like her a bit more than champions like maybe Jace or Lee Sin, just for the early game, because she is a bit more consistent with her E, just having that really, really massive burst damage that you're always going to be able to apply. Allows you to be able to get massive CS advantage in the early game. So you actually do see her a lot in pro play because of that. And I think she did get a small buff in 9.15. It was one of the only changes that could be impactful, I think.
Did she get a change? Did she get a change to her chain?
Yeah. So a slight buff on the E. And that is helpful. It's not massive. Like, it's not the ability that, you know, she's doing all the damage with. So it's not a huge change, but it is influential. And she was already on the cusp, so definitely is going to be able to be picked in some situations.
Moving on to AD carry, we're going to have Kate, Triss, Xayah in there some capacity. Triss was being flexed between mid and top. Is that still going to be a thing?
Yeah, I have seen it a bit in solo queue, just watching some videos and stuff for sneaky play and that sort of stuff. But I think she being able to flex, if they are going to flex her to mid and top, then she can become a viable option in the AD carry role, because you can really utilize your drafts well. If you can pick Triss in 3 different positions, that's huge. Then Xayah and Kate, I think, are really, really strong champions in the AD carry role right now. I think Kate goes well with a lot of just a lot of champions. Like, she works well with engaged champions, but she also works well with lane dominant champions like Morgana. And then Xayah, obviously, paired with the Rakan, is a huge power pick right now. Just picking those two together. So definitely a red side ban. Blue side should ban maybe Rakan or Xayah to deny the Rakan Xayah right now, because I think they're a really, really strong pair. And I think Kate's become a lot better.
See, the thing with Kate, I feel like people would see. I feel like it's gonna go like this, because it usually always happens with Kate. One of the teams is gonna blind pick it first, then a team gets trashed by it, then they're gonna ban her the rest of the series.
Yeah. I think she's becoming, like, she's got a little subtle nerfs along the way, and paired with Morg, she's terrifying. And we have actually, surprisingly, we have actually got a lot of good Caitlyn's in the NLCS. You've got Sven, who's a really, really good Caitlyn player. Sneaky's a really, really good Caitlyn player. Obviously, Doublelift's also a very good Caitlyn player. So you're going to see Caitlyn pop up, and I think she's really, really strong. I think she suits the meta. I think it's time to see some more Caitlyn, which we haven't seen in a while. So it'd be interesting to see her.
It's nice to always see her because, I mean, Xayah's one of my favorite ADCs of all time. I love seeing Xayah, and I like seeing good Xayahs. I don't like seeing bad Xayah. Yeah, it's like Rakan. Well, going on to support, we have Rakan here, and you said more. It's like back to tanks: Braum, Alistar, Tom, Morg. The thing with Tom on 9.15, this is the patch where he got gutted, right?
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
I don't think he's gonna be played, man.
I mean, I've seen him on the weekend and stuff. I think he's been played still a bit, but yeah, I think he definitely goes down the priority list.
Braum is still high up there.
Yeah, 100%. I think Braum's really good. Definitely into other tanks, he works pretty well as well, because then you're not going to get punished too much.
Yeah.
And then he's an amazing teamfight champion. Like, just works excellently.
I feel like Braum is one of the champions you could randomly face check with and just not die.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I think he's really strong.
I almost butchered all my words there.
No, he's a really good champ though, and with other champs like Alistar coming back, even Morg, like, I don't think he's awful into Morg. Rakan he's not awful into, so I think he's just a really good champion right now, and yeah, I hope to see him.
Alright, that kind of rounds off all of most of the meta. Do you have any dark horse picks that they might just try out randomly? Not like, try out randomly in playoffs. It's like, do you know if there's a pick that you would probably want to see them try out that's actually kind of just underrated on this patch, actually?
I'd say Graves. He got a slight buff on 9.15. You see this a lot. Those slight buffs can really come in big on the pro stage. So I think him being buffed, and possibly a Xerath. I'm not going to bet on it, but just the way the meta's positioned right now, I think it really suits Xerath to go into Corkis, Azirs, Cassios. He's really, really good into these champions who are all extremely strong right now. So seeing a Xerath, I think, would be not as surprising. But Graves, maybe. I don't think he's in a great position. But
Graves, see, it's a problem, like, people will... I've seen too many regions at this point in playoffs. Graves does randomly come out in playoffs. He does. It's just more like on the lines of he needs that early game comp around him, and has to have winning matchups around him for him to effectively, invade properly, get those counter jungling strats going. It's what I was gonna say. Maybe Mordekaiser.
Oh, he did get a pretty big nerf. I think it was 9.13.
They broke my heart with that, man.
Yeah,
well, every champion I play, they nerf.
Yeah, I think it was a weird nerf as well. I don't think it was awfully strong.
In the ultimate, it's in the ultimate because it was really broken, wasn't it?
Yeah, they definitely nerfed a few things about him. Yeah.
So maybe I was gonna say Mord, but well, Riot likes to hate me because I love playing top.
Yeah.
Now we're going on to the playoffs. The big guns here. Blast from the past, man. Clutch playing TSM. Now, I don't want to say anything right now, but Huni and Damonte were on Echo Fox last year, and they lost to TSM in this exact position twice. Regional qualifier, and they lost in the playoffs. So know they're going to want some revenge. Because the first series was close. It was 3-2. I was like, okay, Echo Fox probably should have won that. And then it's like regional qualifier. They get absolutely blasted.
Yeah.
And then they got blasted every single point this year. TSM went, 4-0 over Clutch, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
They they want some revenge. But, okay, so which one do you want to start with, Clutch or TSM? Or you want to break down the matchups first?
Do you just talk about the seasons?
Okay.
The seasons.
All right. Which one do you want to start with first?
I'll go Clutch.
Okay. Let's start right there.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that Clutch are in the playoffs right now. And we're talking about them because they were awful in the spring split. And
oh my god!
They have came out. And they've actually performed quite well to get to the playoffs. They've stopped these weird drafts where they throw Cody Sun mid and play Zed into C9, which we'll take that. That was a free win. That's helped us come second. But they are playing a lot better League of Legends. And if you actually break down their roster, really, you go through it. Huni, former world's champion. Yeah, he's not very reminiscent of his past, but he is a very, very solid top laner still. Lyra has performed better as a jungler. I don't rate him as a very good jungler at all, but he has started to play better, and obviously they're playing a bit better as a team. Damonte, this is a player on Clutch I really actually respect. I think he's an amazing mid laner. I think he's really good, and I think that matchup between Damonte and Bjergsen is going to be really, really, really interesting to see.
I think it's going to be really hard for him, because historically I've looked at them, and it's always been more or less so Bjergsen favored.
Yeah, this is the time for Damonte to set up. This is the time for him to show he is a good, really, really good mid laner in the NLCS. If he wants to go to, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I forgot. It's TSM is 3-1 against Clutch. Clutch beat TSM this year in spring when they had Piglet. I forgot. Sorry about that, guys. You can flame me if you want.
And then heading to the bot lane, Cody Sun, Hakuho started to develop a bit of synergy, starting to get it rolling. They've had a lot of success towards the end of the split, so they're rolling with a lot of momentum into this match. So that could help. And TSM haven't been looking amazing this split. They're only one win over Clutch. They've had all these issues at the jungle spot. Can they fix that now? Can they put a KDM back in and just fix that? So talking on TSM, I think Broken Blade and Bjergsen have been excellent. But the rest, I don't rate Sven and Smoothie, but yeah. What are your thoughts on TSM?
You're like, because if I did, I would put them at 10th.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you said TSM, and then I'll reverse it. I'll go to TSM, and then I'll go to Clutch. Okay,
all right, sure.
TSM, I don't even know where to start. Okay, so people need to understand, and I'm going to be blatantly honest with this. Just because a team performs well in spring does not mean that's always going to translate to the summer. We've seen this in countless teams throughout any season of League. People had this real high hope of TSM coming back and being a strong team. Now, the reason why teams are strong for certain periods of time could be due to meta patches. They obviously are adapting to the meta very well. They obviously understand how to do various things around the map very well. I didn't get during the spring split they were even better than Cloud9. That looked to me like Cloud9 just choked in the very last minute. Now, that might be that's not me even being a biased fan. That's just like what I saw in the game. Now, looking at this split in particular, it's like what you said, Broken Blade. If they didn't have Broken Blade or Bjergsen, them as a team would be literally probably okay, yeah, they're not Echo Fox level, they're not FlyQuest level. They would be probably where 100 Thieves is sitting.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they're playing like a team anymore. It's what Acadian said and Smoothie said in their last few interviews. Acadian were talking about they don't know what to draft. Smoothie said they're not really playing like a team. And when they started saying that, those are like indications that they're falling apart. And I've
big warning signs, yeah.
Yeah, like I've seen those interviews before, and when I see that, it clicks in my brain. They're falling apart internally, and I just can't wait to see it on the stage. That sounds so that sounds so evil.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely.
Other than that, the drafts suck, the rotations suck, their objective control sucks. They literally in these last few weeks should have went 0-4. The reason why they didn't go 0-4, well, they went 1-1 the last few weeks, right? Yeah.
Yes. I believe so.
They should have lost to FlyQuest, but FlyQuest Viper doesn't know how to buster shot a jungler away, so let's. Oh my god, let's just give away free wins, right? And then they almost lost to Echo Fox during Golden Guardians, which was a game that me and my friends that went to go watch it live. We saw them literally almost lose to Golden Guardians. The reason why they don't lose to teams like that is because the quality of their players is just a bit better. That's kind of how I see it. Like, Bjergsen is 9 times out of 10 better than Froggen. Sven is actually better than FBI, but like them as a team, it's just not working out. And I feel like that. The reason why because people always go to this fact, it's like, well, didn't they go from like spring in like season 6 spring? Remember when they had double lift, right?
Yes.
Remember how they went to the finals? See, the reason why it was easier for them to bounce back then was for one direct reason: they had a super team. Bjergsen and double lift were on the same team. They literally had a super team. Yellow Star, Bjergsen, Doublelift, Svenskeren. Like this time around, it's not really like that. I don't get that feeling this time. It's like. The drafts are horrible. Their objective controls. Sven is literally missing Sona ult in targets in front of him. Like that's not even a mechanical blunder. He just doesn't want to play with these guys anymore. He probably feels like they all suck.
Yeah. And overall, I think TSM are usually known for their better coordination. They're known for their better map, and having a great shot caller or just player like Bjergsen can really help with that. He's just the core of the team. He's going to set them all up. They're going to have better macro and coordination. But as you're talking about, they haven't had the strongest season, right? And heading into this game, I don't think they have that same advantage of coordination and macro that they usually would over a team like Clutch or a team like, Golden Guardians or whatever. But obviously referring to Clutch this time, and that's why I think you definitely give Clutch a chance, and I don't think this is a one-way street at all.
Now, if this was a few years ago, I would definitely give Clutch, I would definitely say, Clutch is not going to win this, but...
Yeah, 3 TSM, yeah.
This time around, now I'll go to Clutch. See, it's really hard to say, because some of their players have been performing pretty well. Like, they're not performing all pro level, but they're performing good. Hooney's been playing better. Damonte's been playing good. Lyra still is like, okay. Let's see. Cody-san been playing pretty good. Vulcan's been playing Vulcan's pretty underrated. He's been playing pretty well. I'll give him that. The thing is that I don't know if they can pull off consistent wins against a team that's not inside of best of ones, because we've only seen them perform in best of ones, and teams like Clutch, sometimes you could get them in random weeks, sometimes they just perform better in playoff scenarios, because playoffs are not best of ones.
Definitely. I think an advantage they could have over TSM though is their drafting. We've seen it a lot during the split. And during just whenever they play, you have no idea what they're drafting going into their games, and I think that could really be an advantage in a best of scenario, which they've never got to. So we haven't seen this team in a best of 5 scenario against a team like TSM. Oh, maybe no, we haven't. Which I think is really interesting, because if they're going to throw around these different picks, in terms of maybe randomly they do throw Cody-san mid during the.
Please don't.
It could completely throw off TSM. Now, not saying Cody-san is the best set in the world. He's completely atrocious. But having these different picks and strategies that they can use does open up in a best of 5 scenario, and from game to game they could just throw around some different strategies and picks, and this could lead to an advantage over TSM. TSM might not be expecting something, and that could lead to game wins for Clutch, and they could be heading on to semis. Just wanted to touch on the key matchup for Clutch vs TSM, which is Huni vs Broken Blade. So,
bro, you weren't watching out for that Sven versus Cody Sun match? Come on, dude. That's like the God, they're like bots compared to all the other things. Dude, Cody Sun versus Sven, that's like Uzi versus Jackie Love in a couple days, man. I'm ready to watch that.
It's Fakers versus Rookie all over. Cody Sun. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
You're like, this guy's trolling me. I know it.
Yeah, essentially. So we got Huni, he's the back the talent. And then you've got Broken Blade, who's this new up-and-comer, and I really rate him. I think he's a really good player. And I'm really interested to see this matchup, because it could just go like a lot of what happened in the spring split. Huni just gets completely bulldozed. Or it could be, recent form. If you're going recency bias, Huni's been really performing. Broken Blade hasn't been this amazing player that he was in the spring split. He's starting to fall off a bit. Just because he has one good split as a rookie, which happens a lot in the LCS actually. They're one season wonder rookies. He might not perform as well as he might against as he could against Huni. So I really think this is a really interesting matchup. I think there should be some jungle attention definitely thrown up there as well. Trying to get Broken Blade ahead on a lot of his carry picks that he likes to play. The Aurelias, the Akalis, which are still viable in this meta. And yeah, I'm just really interested. I think the top lane meta is really cool right now. There's a lot of different champions you can play. You can play melee, range, anything. So I think this is a really interesting matchup to watch, and two very, very good players going up against each other. And I think this is a matchup that will impact heavily on who comes out into the semifinals against Cloud9 or to Team Liquid.
See, with Huni and Broken Blade, normally I would say it's Broken Blade, because he hasn't performed like that bad, but Huni's been performing. He's been like just on the down low, just been performing pretty well. The issue with both of them is Huni's more flexible. I see Huni playing a lot more different champions, but Broken Blade is more consistent on certain champions, and he's more. I feel like Broken Blade overall is the more consistent player. Huni can just be a wild card at certain points. But if I had to pick somebody to win it, I would have to say it's even. Right now it's very even. Looking at how they performed even in the last weeks, Broken Blade was getting just demolished by Volibear. Like I was like, what? Volibear, all champions.
He is the best champion, so that is
true. Hey, that's true. I love Volibear. Don't you top off the bear?
Yeah. So overall, this matchup I think it's very interesting. What's your prediction for it?
For just Huni versus Broken Blade?
Oh, for the who wins?
Oh, for overall. Clutch versus TSM? I'm saying 3-2 Clutch.
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah, TSM have been pouring. These teams haven't been performing good, but TSM have been performing. Both of them, they've both been performing bad. Like if TSM win it, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But I feel like right now they're just the better performing team, and we literally saw these guys play like almost 4 days ago. Like it's not even like, and then we saw TSM lose to a troll comp. What is that?
Was great.
That was great.
Very interesting. That was a good game.
That was a good game. I'm not gonna lie. That was fun to watch. But yikes! I'm gonna say 3-2 Clutch. You're gonna say TSM.
So usually I would just say 3-0 TSM, but just with this kind of advantages that I think Clutch have built up, they've got some momentum. They're mixing up their draft. They're good at mixing up their draft. Sorry, which is going to be an advantage in a best of. TSM's better coordination and macro, which I think they usually have, isn't there right now. It isn't fantastic. They're not looking amazing in a team, and that might change come match day. But we're just going to say, for the benefit of the doubt, that they don't. You really break down these teams. There isn't too much of a talent depth. Sven and Smoothie. Smoothie's a good support, but Sven's a bot. So going against
holy crap,
whoever, doesn't really matter who he's going against. It's not going to be.
Keep in mind, they are playing Spica. They said Spica's going to be playing in the playoffs. So they're
oh, really?
Yeah, they're taking a rookie that they played
Holy
this Academy.
moly!
Yeah, it's on their Twitter page. They're playing Spica all playoffs.
All right.
Acadian,
I had Acadian down like in my notes. Like
Oh.
I thought he was playing. All right.
I'm glad they didn't play Acadian. Did you see him play against Golden Guardians today? Hell no. Oh, yikes. I rather
Jesus.
Yeah, Spica's going to be playing their entire playoffs. They're not even going to be playing Grig or Acadian, the people they've been playing all split. Like,
Okay, that changes my prediction. All right.
I mean,
So
you don't have to change because of me. I don't people saying I influence you.
no, that's fair. Spica. I mean, I haven't seen too much of him, but he doesn't look like an amazing jungler. I don't think he's going to really carry, and you're throwing him straight into playoffs. That's a great idea, TSM. Good one. Which and to be fair, he's not against the best jungler. Lyra's got some problems himself as a player, but he's definitely at least got more experience than Spica. So that is an interesting move, and I'm very surprised to see TSM do that. But I'm just going to come back to Broken Blade and Bjergsen. They actually don't have the easiest matchups. They are versing the two best players on Clutch in Demonte and Huni. But when it comes down to it, Bjergsen's not going to let TSM lose against Clutch in this final. I just don't see him and Broken Blade having that bad of performances that they lose. I think Sven and Smoothie think they're awful. They're not. They are, I think, a bit better than Cody Sun and Vulcan. So I think in the end, I'm going to give TSM the. I reckon they're going to go down 2-0 early. I reckon they're going to go down 2-0.
Oh,
And
I like this.
Bjergsen and Broken Blade are going to carry them back home. So I reckon it's going to be 3-2. Similar to there was a few years ago when they versed Gigabyte Marines at MSI. And they got down 2-0, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And then they came back, and I think that's going to be a similar situation.
Matchups like these with a favorite and a non-favorite usually happen to go like that. The non-favorite will win like the first two games, and you're like, what the freak is, what am I watching?
Yeah.
And then like,
yeah, exactly.
I can see this matchup definitely going that way. But looking at some of the other key matchups for this, I think every single time I've seen Demonte play against Bjergsen in the postseason like they did last year, man, it was rough for him. Did you not see him tilt in the Echo Fox series? Dude was just mind blown. But
yeah, he gets pretty tilted actually as well.
But I think he's overcome that. I think his issue is that he needs to feel and be put into a situation where he can be the carry player. Now, do you put resources into a player like Demonte and trust him to do that? I think you can. But,
yeah, 100%.
And I think you have to, given the quality of caliber of the players that they have. But if you put Cody's son, if you put resources into him, that's also not a bad idea either.
Yeah, I honestly think if they're gonna win, they have to get Bjergsen and Broken Blade uncomfortable, and you gotta put pressure on Bjergsen and Broken Blade. Like I think Huni and Demonte have to win their matchups to win this series. Otherwise, you're in a bit of trouble.
The last matchup, Vulcan versus Smoothie. Oh man, yeah, Smoothie's been. Dude, I watched. There's been so many games that he's literally inting. I know how. See, I love Smoothie, man. He used to be on Cloud9. I know how good he is. Dude has been seriously level 1 dying as Yuumi. Yeah, Vulcan's playing better than this guy. I'm not even. That's not even me. That's people are gonna question that and they're gonna call me a moron. What did I do? What?
I didn't die on Yuumi level.
Remember against Origin, he literally threw the game for them. All he had to do was not die in that bot lane.
Yeah,
straight up died. Yuumi level 1. He's been playing really bad this split. I think people are just like. There are certain clouts that players have over people's eyes, like Bjergsen. If Bjergsen even has a bad performance and you like point it out, you're just casted away. Like Bjergsen's not been performing as well as certain picks. Like there's like Corki picks where he's just like you can kind of tell in the game by just how he's moving. He's just kind of want to just play his own game. Like they all just want to play their own game. But I hope that is not the case in playoffs because remember it's not a bad best of 1. I'm gonna say Clutch 3-2. You're gonna say TSM 3-2?
Yeah.
All right. Time to go to the best matchup of the century, even better than this one. Actual Counter Logic Gaming. Actual Counter Logic. They did it last. They finally did it. I called it. They finally did it. Oh my god. I knew they were gonna crack under some type of pressure. When you believe in them, they fail.
and no one believed in them, and suddenly they're third place and almost second place. Until the best team in the LCS, Cloud9, came out and
you mean the world, right? Best team in the world.
Sorry, I completely forgot. Best team in the galaxy.
There you go. Yes.
Cloud9 came out and beat them.
All right.
But,
so since you started on the last one, what do you feel about Optic?
I actually think they're pretty good, and I'm surprised. Again, I don't know where these teams are coming from. Optic and Clutch. I thought these guys were bad teams in the NLCS, which is basically just rubbish. But anyway, they're starting to come out. They're starting to play League of Legends. They're starting to use their hands. Dockler is playing very, very well. I am very impressed by his play of the recent times. He's been in fantastic form. Meteos is a very consistent and good jungler. Crown is a former world champion. I've rated him very high, and I think he is still an excellent player. And Arrow and Big are there. So you have Optic as having a very, very strong team. You know, a bot lane. Okay, yes, they're not the best bot lane, but they are stable. They're not going to completely throw.
They're actually not bad. People have. Yeah. I've actually liked what I've seen out of them.
I respect Arrow. I think he's a pretty good player. And Big's. Yeah. He's all right. He's all right. Yeah, he's there. He's chilling. But yeah, they do have a really strong team, and this mid jungle dynamic between Crown and Meteos, I think, is what has propelled them. And then having Dockler suddenly become this person who's willing to play League of Legends well has really impacted them. And I think they're playing a lot better as a team. I think they're coming out. A lot of these teams, like Optic and Clutch, are really starting to perform well, and I'm really happy to see those teams in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th places really perform well. It makes the matches a lot more interesting. And Optic definitely been performing well.
This is going to be an interesting matchup. This is interesting. So how do you feel about CLG?
Yeah, CLG, I think Ruin's a really good player. I think he's came out and had a really good split. I think Wiggly is probably the weak link on CLG. I don't think he's a bad player necessarily, but I don't think he's amazing, and that is a bit of a worrisome matchup, him into Meteos. I think Meteos has a lot more experience. I think Meteos is a better player, so that could impact the game a lot, but again, I don't think he's an awful player. I think PoE is a really good player. He's made his mark now. He is a good player, and then Stixxay and Bifrost are a really, really solid bot lane, and I think they're the lane that CLG love to play around. You see a lot of ganks and plays made bot lane for CLG, and it's no wonder why. Stixxay and Bifrost are a really solid bot lane, and I think they have a significant advantage over Arrow and Big. But overall, I think it's a really interesting matchup. I think Optic are too much worse than CLG. I think Dockler into Ruin, that's a pretty even matchup based on Dockler's recent performance. I think Meteos into Crown, Meteos and Crown, and Wiggly and PoE, that dynamic, I think Meteos and Crown are definitely going to be a bit better than PoE and Wiggly. I think that PoE is the best player out of those 4 players in jungle and mid, but then Crown and Meteos easily come in 2nd and 3rd, and then you got Wiggly. So if they can focus mid, Optic, I think they're going to win this series. Bot lane's the problem, though, and I think CLG, they didn't get to 2nd place for the large majority of the split by, luck. Although a lot of people would say that, teams in the NLCS win by luck.
Dude, luck sure wins you games in a high competitive environment. Sometimes teams get lucky. I'm not even gonna, wild card teams get lucky. But, if you're in your own league and you win high competitive games against 9 other teams, saying that's luck is like, holy crap.
Yeah, alright.
That is the ultimate form of salt if someone anytime brings that up.
They've actually played some good League of Legends. That's why they've been in 2nd. So
yeah.
And it's come a lot around focusing on bot lane, and I think that is going to be the key aspect where CLG can win the game through. So that is really interesting. I think Optic are stronger in some places, but so are CLG. So create an interesting matchup. So what are your thoughts on the 2 teams?
Ooh,
how they've gone?
I actually don't think this is actually as one-sided as people think. I think this is actually very close.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think this is like I'm gonna. I want to say Optic win 3-2, but then CLG have been just more and more consistent the whole split long. Yeah, they've had their weird int weeks, but they've been more consistent. Like Ruin's been more consistent than Dokla. PoE and Crown are pretty even. I actually had Crown in my All-Pro first team, actually. I thought he's been performing exceptional. Yeah, Crown's been performing exceptional this split. He's been performing well.
I'd say he's third. I'd say Nisqy.
Oh, man. Leaving call. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd say Nisqy's 1. I'd say Jensen's 2. I think Jensen's the best mid laner, just like outright.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a big call considering Bjergsen's in the league.
Don't say that around Bjergsen fans. They'll eat you alive.
Yeah. My friend heard me say that. He's a massive TSM fan.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he'd kill me. I think. Yeah, it's actually really. Crown and PoE are up there. But
the thing with Biofrost and Stixxay is that I could see them losing to Arrow and Big.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's the matchup where CLG do have the upper hands, the main upper hand.
Now, the marquee matchups are the mid lane and the jungle. That is the biggest thing. But Wiggly and PoE have better synergy than Meteos and Crown do. Like in the last C9 Optic game we saw, Meteos and Crown have no synergy. I've watched enough Optic videos. I've watched enough C9 videos. I've read enough interviews. I watched enough gameplay. Meteos and Crown have about as much synergy as Xmithy and Jensen. It's non-existent.
Yeah, the problem for them that game was Blabber was playing, and they usually, you know, in that sort of matchup, I think he actually was Meteos was playing Jarvan, right?
Yeah.
That game was so weird because you've got the Sejuani, not a really good early game ganker. J4 is, and he tried to focus on mid lane, and Blabber playing really, really well on the Sejuani, but that was the only bad match that Optic did have that day. They really came in strong. 2 matchups. They did win 2 in a row. And in comparison, in terms of momentum form, you know, in the last few weeks, Optic have had those 2 wins, and then CLG have looked a bit rusty. I mean, they've lost against C9. Very, very comfortable win for C9, by the way.
CLG lost to 100 Thieves.
And they lost to 100 Thieves. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really weird because if 100 Thieves don't beat them, they don't even get to the tiebreakers.
Exactly. So, really, really 2 tough losses. I mean, C9 are a really good team, and I think they're definitely a top 2 team. But, I mean, it was just a complete bulldozing of CLG. They did not stand a chance against C9. So that is a tough loss to take. And then against I've talked about bad teams in the NLCS. I haven't even started on Thieves. And CLG...
You're like, that's another whole video in itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just me ranting about 100 Thieves. But CLG got beat by them. So that is an interesting loss to have coming into this big matchup. And they needed to win that game as well. They were definitely tryharding. So losing that game is really, really interesting. Yeah, so I mean that's most of the things for this match. I think it is going to be a bit tighter than a lot of people will say. What are your thoughts on predictions?
3-2 CLG.
All right. Okay. I'm actually.
Then CLG will lose to Cloud9 when TL don't pick them.
Yeah, I mean, like, anyone's going to lose to Cloud9. So.
No one loses to Cloud9. I mean, Cloud9 could beat SKT right now, like in 20 minutes. Okay, easy. I'm actually not being serious, guys. We're gonna get so slide for saying that.
Yeah.
I forgot something. We could go over coaches and how we think that how they've actually impacted the team.
We talked about the drafts a bit for CG and TSM, but CLG and Optic,
Zabutein versus Weldon. In my
I have no idea how these coaches are.
Yeah, it's like Zabutein tries to draft for early game, Weldon tries to draft for scaling, with early game in there somewhere, but it's like Zabutein likes to have his teams focused on objective and map rotations. CLG's is more about being coordinated and working as duos. It's like, I could definitely see CLG's plan seems a lot better in a best of 5, though.
Yeah, I think CLG, and from seeing their draft, bit better at drafting than Optic, and when you come down to it, you know, these sorts of things like team coordination and shot calling macro, and then you can add drafts onto this as well. You know, those things that the coach can have the biggest impact on. I think CLG have come a bit better than Optic in those sorts of areas, and I think that could be a big thing come this matchup, that Optic could kind of just, you know, be better at macro plays and make the better plays and make the better you know, plays bot lane. And then, because even though Crown and Meteors are a bit better than Wiggly and PoE, just that general macro, the draft may favor CLG, and that could have a big influence. But for my prediction, I'm gonna go. I think you've actually got a good one in 3-1 CLG.
Oh dang! You're like, nope, they're gonna lose one game, clean it up, done.
Yeah, I think I'll go 3-1 CLG. I think one of the games, Crown and Meteors will just control the game. I think it even might be game 1. Like, Meteors comes out, he has, you know, a really good performance into Wiggly. Wiggly has those stage nerves as a second or kind of main split playing the whole split in the NLCS. So he might come out a bit jittery, a bit nervy, and then you have Meteos come along and have a really good performance and win that first game, and then, you know, the nerves go away and CLG come out and perform really well, and I think they win those 2 games.
I'm gonna say, guys, I could see Optic beating them. I'm not saying it's super CLG favored.
No, 100%. Yeah.
If Optic come out 3-0s them, that's funny. I would laugh. I would laugh so hard. But then you're like thinking like, oh, Meteos facing C9 again in playoffs. Whoo. I would love if Meteos could win and face C9 again, but right now it's like CLG kind of have the better, more consistent team, while Optic have the more, what do I even call Optic? The more one-trick ponies? I don't know what I call Optic. They're the more, they're there.
They got more experience.
True, yeah.
You look at that.
Yeah.
Meteos has performed better than pretty much anyone on CLG.
Yes.
Like, PoE's been for 2-3 years. He's had one really good, which was when Misfits made the finals. That's pretty much it.
Oh man.
Like, and then again, like, just the last 2 splits, I think you do put CLG as the favorite, but again, as you said, I think you make a point. Optic aren't out of this. They can definitely win this match, and a number of situations where you see, you know, Crown having a great game, or Dockler having a great game, and Arrow and Big aren't. Again, I've flamed them a lot, but they're not completely like just terrible compared to Stixxay and Biofrost. They are going to match up all right. So I am interested to see this matchup. I think it could end up being a 3-2 matchup. I don't think they're too far apart.
Yeah, like, Arrow and Big aren't like Apollo Hakuho level. Like, you have to really try to be that. You would if you're like that level, man. I feel, or the generic. I'm just saying, man. Generic Green Wings could probably beat CLG. No, I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm definitely not gonna say that.
Generic Green Wings are the best team in the world.
Generic Green Wings could Generic over G2. That's what LS said. That, I mean, he's never been wrong, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, LS is a legend.
Yeah, that's
but anyway, I reckon that's how we're going to end off this podcast / video with the Genera, the best team in the world. That's how we're going to.
Hey, I love hearing that. I think these playoff matches overall, as my closing thoughts out, these are a lot closer. You know, preferring to see, like, I don't use past to, you know, replicate what's going to happen now. As I said before, people are going to probably think I'm crazy saying Clutch are going to beat TSM. Recent form, all split long. Yes, Clutch have had their issues, but TSM have looked bad all split long, and Clutch have looked worse too. But it's like this matchup is like, who's gonna go in with the better momentum, and the better team will win on the day. That's how I feel like it's gonna go.
Yeah, nothing's pre-decided. I think these matchups are really going to be really. I can't wait to watch them for one, and I think they're both just going to come down to as you said. I think point. You know, who performs on the day, who comes out swinging, and again, think you slightly favor TSM and CLG in these matchups, seeding because of their I know you've gone for the clutch 3-2, but yeah, I think TSM and CLG just going on, how they performed last few splits, not CLG, but they've had a bit of a better split than Optic, and TSM was obviously very, very strong team last split, but the spigot change really is the main thing that kind of throws
It's
me
not
off and
just
goes,
even that. It's like they're bringing Tactical and Treats as subs too, but they're not going to use Tactical and Treats. It's like,
yeah, I don't think so.
Nah.
I think
no,
they'd have to go down 2-0. They'd have to go down 2-0 to bring them in. Even then,
and even then, that's scary because then you're throwing them in, and it's and you're down 2 games, and then like that you have to win that match. It's ooh, man.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Anyway,
yes, this has been great. Actually, I love this.
Yeah. Really, really interesting to discuss the matchups. I think they're going to be really good, and yeah.
If I win, you owe me $5,000.
All right.
And if I win, yeah, no, it's only if I win. You don't get anything.
Fuck.
You're like,
demonetized.
I'm trying to, because I want to make sure we got everything. Yep, that's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
TL get to choose out of these two, whoever win these matchups, right? Yeah. So great picks. Gosh, yikes.
Right. Awesome.
Cloud9's gonna win the split, man. Oh my god.
Oh, they are. Obviously, they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna win no matter what. I feel like both TL and Cloud9 should be in the finals this time around.
Yeah.
Most people think I'm hating on TSM. I don't hate TSM. I'm actually kind of bummed when they're doing bad because I really do feel for the guys. They put in a lot of work, but if I'm being honest, they have not been playing well this split. And this is like 10-8. 10-8 is horrible. That means they only 2-0'd 2 teams. Like they lost as many games as they won. That was horrible.
It's not a great split for them.
Yeah, if CLG is performing better than TSM, there's a problem there. Like that should not be acceptable.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely.
That's it. Is there anything you want to close out before we leave?
Make sure to leave a like in the comments below and comment on the likes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Give me
and
all
subscribe.
Your money on Patreon.
Yes.
Give me thousands of
I
dollars.
will give you the boyfriend not the Bella, the Bella
the Fiend?
It's my boyfriend experience,
What if I was randomly keeping my shower water? Oh god.
All right.
Dude, people actually bought that. Why?
Okay. All right. I think that's where we ended off.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and this has been Hedgie signing out. Check out his channel. What was your channel name, actually? I forgot.
A link will be in the description.
Oh, yeah? Okay, he'll just be like, I'll give it to him. You'll have it. Yeah. Guys, the new channel name now is Way of Life Esports. I've been thinking about this name change for a while, and I hope you guys enjoy it. See you guys later. Bye. Have a good day, and I will definitely be right. I'm never wrong. I predicted Samsung Galaxy in 2016 to go to the World Finals, and I predicted them to win a World Championship. That was 3 years ago.
I guess that the Timberwolves would be an awful basketball team, and I was right. So.
You're probably like, I predicted the Raptors to win.
Yes, I did. Yes.
All right, I'm getting out of here. I need to leave. All right. Bye. Bye, guys. Peace.